There's a new update coming and your trophies are going to be affected in a big way. We've got a big new event with special star drops, new game modes, skins, hypercharges, and more, and I'm going to tell you all about it. But first, let's start off with the 2 new brawlers. First up is JuJu. She is the first brawler in a new trio from the Oddity Shop, and we get a sneak peek of her environment as well. Now, JuJu is a mythic thrower who has some really unique abilities. First off, she has 3 different attacks: Earth, Water, and Grass. You'll notice a little symbol by her health bar that shows what type she is currently attacking with, and also that she has 6,000 hit points, which is pretty good for a thrower. Her Grass attack gives her increased range, while Earth has increased damage, and finally, Water will slow enemies who are hit by it. Now, all 3 of these have some pretty cool traits, and from what it looks like, the elemental buff that you're given depends on what surface you're standing on. If you're just on normal ground, then it's a ground attack, but if you're in a bush, then it's Grass attack, and if you're above water, then you'll get the Water buff, which, of course, as you can see, she can walk on water as well. JuJu's ground shot deals 2,000 damage, but both Water and Grass only deal 1,600 per hit. Her shots seem to have a pretty decent radius, similar to Larry and Lori. However, the shot does travel pretty slowly through the air. Now, for her super, she summons a voodoo puppet that can chase enemies and shoot needles at range. Each needle deals 1,600 damage, which is actually quite a lot for a pet, so you'll definitely want to deal with it quickly. Now, I did notice that her pet named
Gree,
yeah, that always spawns with a shield. Now, they didn't mention that, so it's possible that that is a star power, but also it could just be a normal mechanic that they didn't feel was worth mentioning. Now, how good is JuJu going to be? Well, I think that she's going to be versatile, but subscribe and you'll get to see my video of me putting her 1v1 versus every brawler in Brawl Stars, of course, along with all the other sneak peeks. Now, the other brawler is an epic assassin named Shade. This brawler looks really freaking cool. Now, it's only an epic brawler, so it's going to be pretty easy to get. Now, he is the final brawler in the Ghost Train trio with Gus and Chuck, and he also has 7,000 hit points, which is pretty strong for an assassin. Now, for his main shot, it's a huge inward sweeping attack that deals 1,600 with each half of the attack. But if you hit an enemy in the middle part where it's darker, both hands will hit the target and deal a whopping 3,200 damage per attack, which is crazy strong, which I also noticed that there's a little exclamation mark after the 3,200, which is sort of like a crit, but I guess it's because the shot damage is different because it hit in that section, which makes me wonder if that's also going to come to other brawlers as well. Like, for instance, Draco, like the tip of his shot deals more damage than the inner part of it, so will it say whatever his damage is plus an exclamation mark? I don't know if that's new or if it's just for Shade, but it's kind of cool. I also noticed that he gets a speed boost whenever he lands an attack. Now, again, they didn't mention this, so I'm going to guess that that's probably going to be a star power. But again, we'll confirm that here very shortly in the upcoming sneak peeks. And what's more is that he can also move across water because, well, Ghost. However, both him and his shots can pass through walls. Now, just his standard attack will pass through walls, which will make him incredibly dangerous to enemies hiding behind walls as well as throwers, but also, his super, he can completely pass through walls himself. It's like he has a short little dash, and then his ability to pass through walls and just walk in walls is active as long as his super is active, which that bar looks like it lasts for quite a long time. There is some downside to this, though. In an open field, he's not going to be able to close the gap like some of the other assassins, and he has a short range and a rather slow attack animation. However, his reload speed does look pretty darn fast, and he'll be able to charge his super just by being close to enemies as well, as we can see with the large circle around him, sort of like Buzz. All in all, I expect him to be extremely good, plus he just looks so dang cool. Like, I love this dude already. Now, the next big event that's happening, and it's coming with this update, is the Angels versus Demons event. This event will bring new angelic and demonic star drops, new game modes, a bunch of amazing skins, and more. First off, the main portion of this event revolves around unlocking new abilities for both demons and angels, and when you log into the game each day, a coin will be flipped and you will become either an angel or a demon. Now, both angels and demons have abilities that go with their faction, but it will also work with other angels and demons, so it's going to be beneficial in many cases to play with the same faction. After that faction is chosen each day, you're going to get an angelic or demonic star drop that will give you a unique ability for the day. However, occasionally the game will give you free will and let you choose which side you want to be on. Now, the abilities that you can get are varied, but from what it looks like, the angelic side is more about healing, while the demonic side has more chaotic abilities. Now, there are 12 abilities in total, 6 for each side. Here's some of the ones that they showed. For the angel side, we see Seraphim, which spawns a healing angel when a teammate dies, but you're going to get an extra benefit if the person who died was also an angel. Then there's going to be Rebirth, which once per match, it's going to prevent your death, bringing you to 1 HP and making you immune for a short time, while at the same time knocking back enemies. Now for the demons, we also see some like Siphon, which is basically Life Leech. You deal damage to an enemy, you and your teammates get health in return. A cool looking one here is Conjuring Chaos. This will spawn an imp after you defeat an enemy, and then that imp will go on to attack them even more. And then there is Fury, which makes you run faster whenever you take damage. They're also going to have angelic and demonic star drops in the shop that you can buy, and they will match up with the faction that you rolled that day. And I can't wait to buy them all. And I also can't wait to play the new game mode that's coming with the angels versus demons, and it's called Spirit Wars. It's basically like the old mode Siege, but with a twist. The basic concept is to collect amulets from around the map. The more amulets you collect, the more spirits you spawn. You're going to use those spirits to help you take down the other team's turret and win the game. They're also bringing back Trio Showdown, as it was the most popular game mode during the SpongeBob season. And of course, this and other game modes will have the indicator showing that the angels versus the demons abilities will be present. So as always, if you don't want to play with these power-ups, then you know how to avoid them. They're also going to have a special contest to see who is the greatest angel or demon. It's similar to Mega Pig, where you have a limited amount of games that you can play, and whoever makes it to the top wins an extra 5 angelic or demonic star drops. Or maybe it's both. Maybe you get both. I don't know. And it also looks like there's going to be multiple, sessions of this event, as one of them is labeled Contest 4, another one's labeled Contest 2, and it even looks like they're going to have multiple days per contest. The next big news is the brand new hypercharges coming into the game with this update. For 8-Bit, his hypercharge super will become a minigun firing at people nearby, sort of like Jesse's super. Now this laser turret's range looks pretty far and deals 230 damage per projectile. Now that's not a ton of damage, but this is going to make 8-Bit even more deadly, especially in modes like Heist, where he's already good. For Otis, his super will still silence enemies, but when it's hypercharged, it will also stun them as well. Rough super, upon landing, will deal even more damage. How much damage, you ask? Well, how about 4,550 damage? Which is absolutely bonkers, but that's not all, because the treat that he leaves behind with his super, it's not only going to boost your stats like normal, but also it's going to charge your hypercharge as well, as we can see as this bull gets it. So even if you don't get to deal damage with your super, this is still an insanely good hypercharge. For Daryl, he will spray out his bullets just like his gadget while he is rolling in his super. And can I just say, Danny, y'all picked out the worst clip to show here ever. There's 2 brawlers nearby. Daryl uses his hypercharge, and then he goes to proceed to miss every single bullet from that hypercharge. Solid. Now, it's really hard to say if this one's going to be very good, but even if the effect isn't great, I mean, it's a freaking hypercharged Daryl rolling at you. You're probably dead anyway. Now, Penny's is pretty straightforward. Her mortar is going to fire 2 cannonballs instead of 1, which is going to make it extra annoying to dodge, as well as deal massive safe damage in Heist. She is going to be deadly, especially she just got a range buff and she's already been good. In Heist, she's going to be a monster with this. And then Stu is going to have unlimited supers during his hypercharge, which is going to be absolutely cracked. Now, if you enjoy all the skins in Brawl Stars, then you are in for a huge treat, because the skins that we are getting in this update are absolutely insane, and probably the best I've ever seen Brawl Stars come out with. Now, for this first season, we are getting Angel, Larry, and Laurie for the Brawl Pass skin. And I love the light and dark contrast between the 2 brawlers here. And the 2 color variations on the Brawl Pass are going to be Radiant, and then perhaps my favorite one, the Dark Angel, Larry, and Laurie. Like the black and the white. It looks so good. It's really good. There's also going to be 2 hypercharged skins of this season, however, and frustratingly, you can only get them from angelic or demonic star drops. So cross your fingers for luck, because they are really good, and they're for Edgar and Mortis. Now for Mortis, we have Demon Mortis, Devilish Mortis, and then Lambent Mortis, which, again, this skin is absolutely nuts. And a cool thing about hypercharged skins now is that when you use your hypercharge, you will stay in that new skin effect until you are defeated again. which is pretty awesome. And then for Edgar, there's Dark Angel Edgar, Lightbearer Edgar, and then Nightbringer Edgar. These skins are ridiculous, and if I don't get them from a star drop, I'm going to be sad. Now for the other ones this season, there's some Angel and Demon skins coming up. We have Demon skins for Otis, Willow, and Ems, and they all look pretty cool, but that Ems Super looks pretty wicked. However, if you're feeling more angelic, then there are a few Angel skins for you as well, with Max, Jean, and Lily, and all of these skins have really cool super animations. Like Max's looks like stained glass, Lily leaves behind a cool heart, and then Jean's pool looks really awesome too. And then finally for the Angels and Demon seasons, there's going to be some color variations for some older skins like Dark Angel Colt. There's going to be now a Light Angel Colt, and then also we have Impy Colette. Now for the December season, we're going to go in a totally different direction with the skins. They are all cartoon inspired and much more playful, but still very awesome. The Brawl Pass skin of the season is Bizarre Maisie, which is a reference to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that gets reinforced even further with the two color variations in Requiem Maisie and Platinum Maisie. Then it looks like we're getting the best Lou skin ever, and maybe me and my editor can stop arguing so much. Burger Lou, I love you still. You will always be better than Smooth Low. And yes, you're seeing that right. That is Cartman Lou. I mean, they're calling him Rude Lou, but come on. This is a freaking awesome skin, especially if you're a fan of South Park. Like, check out the animations on him. It's so good. And then there is Paper Cordelius, which is the same styling as Toon Spike, along with the animations and everything else. Then we have Be Less Ash with such a cool attack animation. And then Sugar Plum Rosa, which... I mean, I never really like Rosa skins. They always kind of look strange to me, except for Major Rosa, and this one's kind of weird too, but I mean, hey, if you like Rosa and her skins, then cool, you're going to like this one. There's Rusty Otis, High Flyer Lola, Sous Chef Ruffs, Cinema Shade, which has some cool 3D glasses, Unlucky JuJu, and then some True Silver and True Gold skins for Kenji and Mo. Now, I saved the trophy changes for last because you probably know most of this because we all put out videos on this already, but we did find out some new information, so a quick explainer first, and then I'm going to show you the new stuff. When the update hits, Tier 35 will no longer be the max tier. The new max tier will be... well, it's going to be called Max Tier. You will reach this tier at 1,000 trophies, and if you're below 1,000 trophies at the start of a new season, your trophies will not get reset at all. However, above 1,000 trophies, all of your trophies will be reset every season back to 1,000. So then each season, for every trophy you earn on your brawler above 1,000 trophies, it's going to go towards your season trophy box. There are different season trophy boxes ranging from small to ultra. The bigger the box, the better the rewards. Now, each box is going to contain at least one guaranteed skin, as well as other rewards such as bling, cosmetics, and even gems. Now, the bigger boxes can even contain mythic, legendary, and hypercharged skins. So once you reach max tier, if you play beyond the 1,000 trophies, you're going to get cosmetic rewards each season in return for your trophies being reset back to 1,000 at the end of the season. So what about your tier 35 brawlers that you push? Do they just get changed to max tier and you get nothing? Well, yes. And no. I mean, yes, they do just get reset back to 1,000 trophies at max tier, but also if you've ever pushed a tier 35 brawler, then you're going to get an exclusive pin when the update launches, and it looks like this. But if you've ever gotten 10 tier 35s before the update, you're going to get an exclusive title. And if you've ever pushed a brawler to tier 30 before the update, then you're going to get an exclusive spray to mark that achievement. Take note, however, because this only applies to brawlers that got to this rank, this tier, before the update. After the update, it's going to be too late. Now, we did get a little bit of new information about the prestige icon. So each season, there's going to be a leaderboard for both the season and all time. If you reach top 1,000 for the season, then you're going to get an icon on your profile showing your best season ever, as well as perhaps a place on the all-time leaderboards if you pushed really high. Now, originally, it was just going to increase in number every time you made it to the top 1,000, but now it's actually going to show your best placing ever. Now, that all sounds pretty decent, but there are some downsides too. First off, there's going to be 2 matchmaking pools. If you're under 1,000 trophies, then nothing much is really going to change for you. But every game over 1,000 trophies is going to have a completely separate pool where everyone is in it over 1,000. So no matter if you're 1,000 trophies or you're 1,700 trophies, you're going to be in the same matchmaking pool. And if there's a big mismatch in trophy levels, there is going to be no underdog over 1,000 trophies. That'll still exist under, but not over. So potentially you're going to have games where you're going to get severe severely outmatched, and you're just going to have to take the L and lose the trophies. Now, if you happen to be one of those really high-level players, this is going to be great for you because you're going to be getting matches quicker than ever before. Now, I think overall the changes are positive, but I am a bit skeptical on how rewarding it's going to feel. I guess I need to open a bunch of Ultra Boxes to see how rewarding these actually are, and if you want to see me do that and open up some angelic and demonic star drops, come back tomorrow.